The Merry Widow of Malagawi. Janice, as the expert in pantomimes, are we going to see a pantomime or an operetta? What have you got in store?
We're certainly not going to see a pantomime. We're going to see an operetta. Cape Town has told me for years they don't like pantomime, so I'm giving them an operetta instead.
Well, you have good guys and bad guys and all those sort of things, so surely, you can be adaptable.
Yes, now of course, and obviously there are those standard characters that appeal, your villains, your heroes, your sexy ones, your not so sexy ones, and they're all there, but in a very nice contemporary way now.
Okay, but now this is the Merry Widow of Malagawi, so can you explain how I thought maybe the Merry Widow of Nkandla, but Malagawi, where's that?
Malagawi, as in Pontevedra in the original Merry Widow, Malagawi is a fictional state. All operettas have stuff that can happen in fictional states because then you don't get blamed for it. It happens over there.
Okay,
it happens
so
in
what's
Malagawi.
happening over there?
Well, there's exactly what happens in the Merry Widow of Pontevedra happens in the Merry Widow of Malagawi, except we're giving it a lovely different slant and it's sort of light, bright brays of colour and contemporaneity.
That sounds all very exotic and exciting. I mean, I've even seen some of the pictures of the costumes, and that alone tells me something's happening. And we have Sean Bovim here as well. I'm sure you're not going to do some plodding sequences. What are you contributing, if any?
Well, I just think that Leha's music is just like a choreographer's dream, actually. Massive romantic waltzes, and also it's not just for the principals with their love duets, and there's so much you can do with the ensemble as well. And I'm lucky enough that Cape Town Opera and the chorus have this sort of instinctive way of moving. So I've been blessed with them because I've been able to put like a contemporary spin on it as well. And it's quite fresh what Janice has put together, so it's been such fun and exciting to do this work.
Well, we do know that Janice does do fresh.
Now, and young.
and how are we going to, and I think we better know for the opera fundies out there,
yes.
There's some serious stuff as well. I mean, you've got some extraordinary talent.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Okay, I'll let me give you an overall thing of what we're doing with the Merry Widow.
Good.
You have Leha absolutely perfectly as you would have him in any other version of this. So the full orchestra is playing the full score.
Cape Philharmonic.
Yes, and the libretto I've rewritten to contemporize and to set in. It's quite interesting that the what was happening in Vienna in 1905, round about there, is very much what's happening in Africa today. And what I wanted to do was to choose a setting for the piece that is particularly suitable to the company we've got, who are wonderfully talented, who, as Sean says, move beautifully, who sing beautifully, who sing in opera and operetta style perfectly. So that's what we will hear. There is a little bit of incidental music, also note for note Leha, but not necessarily rhythm for rhythm Leha, that goes as underscoring, which was not in the original. So we're giving it just that flavour of a little bit of Africa, a little bit of flute and penny whistle, and a little bit of marimba and a few djembe drums, but as background.
That sounds very exciting. I think there need to be no excuses for contemporizing things if it works.
Well, you know, Philip, when operetta was it was always a bit period, but it was about popular culture and it was about contemporary issues. It had satire in it. I mean, we've got our little satire box running around that stage like mad. We've got Alan Committee playing Yegush, which I'm absolutely overexcited about, because he just he hits the nail on the head every time.
And he says, fortunately for Cape Town Opera, he's not singing.
I think he's got one line that he sings and then he runs off very fast.
And he has 3 movements the whole way through the operetta.
You mean, is that limited?
As far as dance goes.
And one includes a moonwalk, which he hasn't quite got right yet.
But he will.
But isn't it wonderful that you have this opportunity, given the talent, given the breadth of talent, but you do have some imported talent as well?
Well, we've got really wonderful. Elizabeth Llewellyn, who is was originally from England, has been living in Germany, and she's come out to do The Widow, and she's doing her beautifully. She's got class, she's got style, she looks like $1 million. Her costumes are, I mean, Birry's just gone mad. She's just given us absolutely wonderful costumes, and Manny's doing the lighting, so it's all looking fabulous at the moment, and having Elizabeth as the centre of all of that makes me feel very secure and very happy, because she sings so beautifully.
It's interesting. What other operas have you done, Janice?
I've done...
How secure do your singers feel having this sort of almost outsider in terms of the drama queen rather than...
Well, I've done Così fan tutte. I've done An Italian Girl in Algiers. No, The Turk in Italy, sorry. The Turk in... yeah.
We'll have to get your visa revoked.
Yes. And then I've done Carmen Jones, and I've done Fledermaus, I've done La Belle Hélène, I've done Candide. So,
and is there a special challenge doing some... I mean, the layers that go with opera or operetta must be very different from being just doing theatre per se.
Yeah. You know, the one thing about my career is that I've had a huge span of anything from operetta to musicals to very serious plays to opera. I mean, there's a difference between opera and operetta, obviously, as well, and I try and really research whatever I do so that the lightness of the operetta, the style of the singing, is going to be as it should be in operetta, which when I do an opera, obviously I have a different approach, and when I do a heavy drama, I have a very different approach.
Well, we can't wait, and I certainly can't wait for Saturday night. We're speaking to Janice Honeyman and to Sean Bovim about the wonderful opera that we are going to be indulged in, The Merry Widow of Malagawi, and best wishes, break a leg or break a note or whatever it takes, but we'll want to be out there on Saturday night cheering. It's on from Saturday the 5th, I gather, through till the 12th of September.
Yeah.
So check when and what and all of that.
And something that's interesting just to remind people is that on the opening night on Saturday, it starts at 6 o'clock, not at the usual time. 5:30 arrival, 6 o'clock first note is played, so it's not a late opening.
There you go. So, and that's quite useful in this wintry weather. All of a sudden, we won't be at the beach, no doubt. So 6 o'clock the Saturday is opening night for The Merry Widow, and as I say, we look forward to it, and I'd love to give a feedback and say, oh, wow. So lots of good wishes,
Thank
and
you for
let's
having
hit
us.
the right notes.
Thank you.